Random fact. More Europeans die from heat-related illness than Americans die from gun violence. Run it.
I mean, that's quite interesting. Europeans being, it depends on which region you're in. Yeah, we know it's
It's a large area.
Yeah, would it be skin cancer? That's something I had to look into.
No, they dying because they don't have AC, bro.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And you know,
but
that they not built for that.
Well, I asked my grandmother this one time.
What's that?
I was like, "What did y'all do?" She's from deep South Tennessee, West Tennessee. I asked her, I was like, "What did y'all do to survive this way?" They sat outside of trees in the shade. They used to work in fields, and I'm not talking slavery, but
no,
they still had to work
hard
in
work.
exactly. They still had to work in fields, and I mean they survived. I don't understand why they survived. Maybe they're not built for the heat.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're not built for that heat.
Maybe they're not built or conditioned for the heat like we are here. But I mean, that's quite an interesting fact. That's something that I didn't know. But I mean, growing up, we had a window unit. We didn't always have air.
We always had air, yeah. But whether it was going to be used or not was
that thermostat.
My pop's from Florida, so
yeah, that thermostat.
And before that, from New York, which I don't know if they had air conditioning and they flat up there. So, like when we'd be like, "Dad, it's hot." It'd be summertime. I got one window in my room. He'd be like, "Open the window. You get a breeze." From where?
Yeah. And you'd be surprised how much of a luxury that is to us. That's not everywhere. Even in some parts of the country too. Like some like you said, in some place in New York City, air is like.
I mean, this is when he was growing up, so I'm sure more of. I would think. I would hope.
But even now, though, it's kind of like a amenity of some sort, like a add-on. Oh, this apartment actually has air conditioning. I was like. Oh,
I mean, I'm not even gonna, as a realtor. Like sometimes you got to check if it's applicable or not. And I realized it's not always applicable. Like there are places out here that still like no window unit, or they have a window unit, but then they'll take the window unit with them.
Yeah.
Like,
and they say it's more than gun violence here in America, and gun violence is crazy.
Yeah,
like super crazy.
That one messed me up. I don't want to hear from Europeans about our guns until y'all fix y'all air conditioning units.
That probably ain't gonna happen. They probably just.
It's probably because of the architecture. Like they don't want to mess up. They got a lot of classic architecture, so I'm sure they don't want to mess that up. But still, is your architecture more valuable than people's lives?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That definitely took me by surprise, and you just came up with that off the cuff, folks.
It's something I actually read. I was looking for facts. I was prepared this week.
It's something that I didn't even think of that I didn't know, so it's just off the cuff. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not definitely interesting. I'm
not trying to burn up like that, but I also have never been that hot where I feel like I'm losing myself. And I remember working. Shout out Pastor Glenn. He would have us working out in the field, bro. Like we would be clearing. Like one time, he had us literally clearing fields. Like I had a hoe, the tool. Let me tell you about these. Okay, never mind. But
Mr. B.
But like me and shout out my boy Allen. I don't think he's still down in Florida. But we were out there literally.
Oh man.
It was so thick the weed eater wouldn't go through it.
Oh Lord, yeah. Your story a little bit more extreme than mine. One of my first jobs was landscaping.
Yeah,
and basically I used to work with a deacon from my church. Now I'm gonna give my shout out to Deacon Schaefer.
Absolutely.
Gave my first job, man. I thought I was doing something. He paying me like $7 an hour. I was taking home I was making like $100 a week, but I'm only like 14 though.
You feel like you balling.
And this was like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was making a little bread, and he used to have me out there 92 degrees out there cutting grass all day. Man, I would take my shirt off. I would put ice in my hat, all type of stuff, man. We used to cut the Boys and Girls Club behind my old church friendship. So, yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And I'd be out there in 92-degree weather. I was delusional a couple of days, though, man. A couple of days you delusional, but you don't really realize it because you a little bit younger now.
You just think you just sleepy.
Yeah.
You just think you sleepy.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, so welcome back, y'all. This is That's Crazy Work. If you don't already know, I'm your boy, Danny Anthem. This is my guy. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. I don't want to mess it up.
What's up? My name is. No, I'm just playing. You can follow me on socials, KMac317. My name is Carl, by the way. Oh, and before we get started, I want to shout out to my boy, Born to Grind, Mari. One of my favorite YouTubers, man. Shout out to him, man. He's doing this thing here. Just moved to Indianapolis, working on changing his life, man. I got a real appreciation for that brother because he's giving it his all to change his life and to make a better life for his kids and his family. So shout out to him first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll tag him in this video.
For sure.
He produced.
You can follow me.
Content.
Find me on Facebook, by the way, Chris with the Biz. Make sure that's where all these that's where the shorts will be. So make sure you look that up. I might get a new Instagram. I don't know. I might just use my personal one, but I don't feel like I want to give that out to the whole world yet. So we'll see. I might get a business Instagram.
And he probably put his page on private. So
no. It is what it is. But we'll see. There will never be a Twitter though. Twitter is an evil place.
It's dead.
X, whatever you want to call it.
It's dead. Threads too, though. Threads is like the exact opposite of Twitter in the opposite direction, if you know what I mean.
Okay. We look at it.
A lot of rage bait on both. But Threads, I'd probably say Threads will probably be your far.
I was thinking more we just do TikTok. I'll get a TikTok.
And then Twitter is like mostly far right. It's
crazy. So they are aligned along political associations.
There's a lot of stuff that's said on both of them. It's a lot of. I feel like, and we might have a show about this. I feel like a lot of it is really rage bait.
Yeah,
there's bots on there, and your algorithm will feed you content a lot of times that you'll be in conflict with to keep you on there, arguing with people,
angry.
And so a couple times I was like, man, hold on, man, I'm arguing with a bot. I'm arguing with somebody that I don't know. So I delete the app. I add it back every now and then. I just got to check myself. You really got to check yourself in general with social media because people have you hot and like, I don't even know this person.
I don't even really reply anymore. Yeah, if it's that deep. And I feel like you were that wrong, and you're that close to me. I'm gonna see you in person eventually.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have that face-to-face conversation.
Arguing with somebody with a question mark as their profile picture.
Oh, absolutely not.
And then people say you'll see some of the craziest things.
If you have an anime character as your profile picture, I will never give your response any type of credence. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But all right, man, make sure y'all check those out. We're going to get into some different topics today. We are missing our third member today, Chef Set. He is actually working on a segment of his own, which we will be getting to later on down the road. But he couldn't be here today. And he wants to tell y'all, hey, what's up? All right. Hopefully he'll be back with us next episode. He's an important part of a group. And plus, I can cook, but I can't give culinary advice like he can. I'll be honest. Like his culinary advice, just don't ever call him chef. Don't give him that satisfaction, y'all.
He a hard man to track down, y'all.
Yeah.
He's the most interesting man, Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
One of the most interesting man. This is a video not sponsored by Dos Equis, by the way.
Absolutely not. But if y'all want to talk, we will take some conversation seriously. Yeah. All right, so we wanted to talk today a little bit. I know we talked a little bit yesterday about tough conversations and having tough conversations and really what that looks like in a professional sense. But I wanted to ask you, like, when you do have tough conversations, I know a lot of people shy away from those because it's just natural. Like, people don't want to have these conversations. So what is your mindset? Like, when you say you have to tell somebody something that may not be to their liking, or you have to maybe deliver news to a customer that may not be to their liking. What is your mindset in that moment as far as how do I make this go over as smoothly as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I think first, and we get into some other aspects. This is tone. Like, how is your tone when you approach somebody? Like, it's different when somebody say, "Hey, man, what up?" Or somebody say, "Hey, what's up with you, man?" Or somebody say, "Hey, I think I have a problem with what happened." Or say, "Man, I got a problem with you. I got a problem with what just happened." So
Right.
I think you got to set the tone. And then your motives behind it. Are you trying to embarrass the person, or do you have a solution afterwards? A lot of times, what I would try to do is position, hey, this is the problem. These are possible solutions or ways around it. And then, sales and business period, we call them workarounds. Is there a workaround? You know what I mean?
For sure.
But tone is important, man. Have you ever had a situation where somebody approached you and their tone was out of whack?
Oh, man, I was a manager. What do you mean? Yeah, absolutely, man. And the first thing is I have to realize myself, I'm not wired to take your disrespect in a cool and calm manner.
Yeah.
So I that was the first thing I worked with on myself first, because a lot of times they're not mad at you. They're mad at the situation.
Yeah.
They're mad at how the situation. They're mad because they feel powerless. They think you have the power to fix it.
Yeah.
All right. And so that's something that I had to like dial it back, because it's not like they're personally attacking me. They're just mad.
Yeah.
They're not calling me out of my name. They're not saying anything that's really necessarily disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't appreciate the delivery.
Yeah.
So I think that is the thing. But I think also one time I told this girl, she just kept going. And I'm trying to de-escalate the situation. And at a certain point, I was like, I got probably about 5 sentences left before she gets it. So I just looked at her and said, there's only 2 people trying to fix this problem. It's me and you. And you're about to lose me. And she was like, oh, it was like a light clicked on, like, he's not trying to hurt me, And but that is, being honest and direct with people. Like, I think a lot of times when we get to talking to angry people, that we shy away from the truth, which really what we should be doing is telling the truth in a constructive manner.
Yeah.
I don't think enough people master that skill of actually delivering things that people don't want to say, or people don't want to necessarily hear, but still helping those people say, but we can get through this. We can. And I also think a lot of times people don't establish the expectations.
Yeah.
And so if you don't establish expectations, then you can't come to somebody and deliver bad news about their performance or about their attitude if you never establish what that should be in the first place.
Yeah. Setting proper expectations.
Yeah, because I think that's very important. Like, let me ask you this. Like, have you ever had to go and talk to somebody who didn't meet expectations and deliver that? Or have you ever yourself had a conversation where somebody didn't feel like you met expectations and you had to deal with that?
Yeah. So I've never been in position to put a pin in that, because we'll come back to the whole tone thing and setting expectations and being honest with people. And I found if you honest with people in, a good way to let them know you're on their side, which most of the time, I mean, we've got to work together to achieve a goal. It usually works out better more times than nil. But, yeah, what did you say again? I forgot.
I said, have you ever been in a situation where you have to deliver somebody news, somebody who didn't meet expectations, or even you're having conversations with somebody telling you?
This is why it's always good to have good mentors. Shout out to Eric Blunt too, and I'm gonna do a lot of shout outs.
We're gonna have a lot of shout outs on the show. Y'all just get used to it.
I've been around. I had a chance to be around so many great influential people in my career. But yeah, Eric Blunt, man, he was one of my last managers before I left my previous company, and we were going through just came off my worst year, worst performance ever, and man, he had a call with me, and he let me know what it was. He let me know where we was at, performance wise, that I had to deliver, or unfortunately, I wasn't gonna be able to maintain my position. Because hey, I mean, we in the big boy world.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
Deliver on your numbers.
But I'd rather hear that up front.
Exactly, and first of all, he established that credibility with me. And that took a period of time,
right, or
a decent amount of time. But he established credibility with me, and he talked to me. He was honest about, hey, I know you can do this, which is some encouragement. I know you can do this. I know what you're capable of, and I've seen what you've done before. But you got to pick it up. I know it's been tough, but
Yeah.
you need to go back to just do a self-examination on where you falling short. And he was right. I was slacking. Even though things were tough during that season, professional-wise and performance-wise, economy-wise, I had got too comfortable. And he challenged me on that in a constructive way. He was honest. He challenged me, and then he gave me some encouragement. And then he offered, hey, what can I do to help you become successful? And I think that's especially in a position of leadership, what I found most valuable to help me, and just helping people as a team lead in different positions that I've been in. So how can I help you achieve your goal or improve or help you make the mark that we're trying to achieve?
You said something that was interesting that I want to go back to, because you said he had basically established a relationship with you first. And I think that's something that especially a lot of managers don't do. Yeah. And so, and me, I was a people manager. It's very obvious that I was a people manager.
Yeah, I wasn't. Because that's not so much my strong suit.
And I get it. Like, everybody's different.
Probably could, but.
Yeah, you definitely could. But I think to a point, I also, there would be times we would get new people, and I had already been so comfortable with so many of the people I was managing because I had kind of come up through the ranks with them, and to the point where when they saw me get the job, they were worried, like, is he going to turn into a tyrant?
Is he going to switch up on the switch up?
One of the people I still talk to, she's like a sister to me. Like, she worked with me. I've known her since church days back in the day, and so she treated me weird for like a month. You know what I mean? Just like, all right. And then it was kind of like she came back later on. I got to give her props. She came back later on and actually apologized. She was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know what we was getting into with you. I didn't know if you was going to be able to handle it. I didn't know if you were going to be able to actually be the manager you said you were going to be. And she was like, my bad. That for me, validated me. Like, okay, people know I'm working hard. People know I actually care about them. I think a lot of times managers, or just leaders, people who call themselves leaders anyway, don't take the time to treat people like anything other than assets. So they see them for what they can do and not as a person. They don't see them as a whole, as a whole person. They see their talents, they see what they have to pay them, and they see everything in between those two little indicators right there. I tried to treat everybody like a person. Now, don't get me wrong, we went through a lot of attempts. At a certain point, I was, okay, I'm going to let you establish yourself, and then we will, because I don't want to hear your whole sob story on the first day. That happens. I heard a lot of those, and I don't mind. Obviously, you needed somebody to talk to, but I got to manage a whole department. I can't. I can't listen to everybody's story every Monday when we get new folks. But I do think, and because I would have people who would leave and try and come back, be like, we already backfilled your spot, man. I tried to tell you before you left. And people would tell them, like, not everybody manages this way. Like, I probably bent over backward for people who did stuff that I shouldn't have. But also, my team would go over and beyond. And because I was able to have, and it also gave me the ability to have, like I said, those tough conversations, whilst them still knowing, like, it's not me getting on you, or not that I don't like you, that there are expectations that need to be met. And right now, you're not meeting them. So, and then the most important thing you said was at the end, where it's like, so what can I do to help you get there?
Exactly.
I think that's the most missing part in a lot of these conversations where people are getting write-ups or people are getting some sort of reprimand, is they don't get an action plan to share with their managers so they can together level back up. Go ahead.
And I would say I haven't really had any really bad people managers or direct managers that I reported to. That I've been blessed, man. I've been able.
You've never had a bad one. That's awesome.
I've been able to work under some incredible people. Even one that we clashed a little bit, but he was a good guy and pretty good manager. He wanted the best for us, and his style, our styles didn't quote unquote match as much.
Got you.
But he was.
But he still wanted to see you succeed. He wasn't trying. For sure.
But worked for some incredible managers, man, that's helped my career, helped me get promotions. Like, even my manager now, I love her to death, man. She does the best she can do, and she's always trying to help us succeed. So, I mean, I can't really say, maybe in the car business a little bit, and we'll get into some of that as the episodes go on.
Different segments coming up. Yeah. Don't give away too much yet.
Yeah. But most of my managers have always, wanted to help me win. So I've had I've been blessed to have some incredible people, leaders in my career.
It's a lot easier to take rebuke when you know the person wants you to win.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you don't have like a bad experience with them, or a series of bad experiences where you don't have that relationship, it's like nobody wants to come to work and work for somebody and constantly be under duress, or work for somebody who constantly disrespects them or downplays their intelligence or doesn't really contribute anything. Like, you micromanage, but you don't contribute anything to help with the solution. So how are we going to be better? How are we going to solve this problem? How are we going to improve? Like, if you don't offer anything but micromanage and just watching over your babysitter, then what's the point?
Okay, so we talked about managers a lot, so I did want to touch on this, which I had the last job I had, at least real 9-5 job, I had a great manager. He was a people manager as well, though, so we understood what I was doing, but he also had been a manager longer, so he was able to help me kind of bridge that gap and speak to the people who were above us, who were more process oriented. Understandably so, they're not knee deep with the people every day. So you look at the process when you're not with the people. And so he would help me try and figure out how to communicate those lines better. But sometimes I would still have to do what they call managing up, which is managing the expectations that come down from managers. Have you ever have to manage up? And then if so, what were some complications you had with that?
Yeah. So, man, you pulling out so much stuff and now it's circulating in my mind, especially about managers.
This is what I do, bro.
About manager, you know what? I probably could be a manager, because good managers, the best I work for, can recognize the strengths within their team.
Yes.
And elevate them and highlight them, or help cover their weaknesses, or find ways to help them grow in areas of weakness. So good people leaders, or people managers. Good
people leaders. Let's call them people. Leaders is for good. Just leaders. We'll call leaders good, and everything else for general be managers.
Yeah. Know how to find their team's strengths and elevate them, and kind of put them in place where they can win.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. But managing up, I definitely have, simply because being a sales professional, and anybody knows that expectations can be lofty sometimes, and upper management executives can be a little out of touch.
a little.
The growth number, hey, we expecting to grow 20%. I'm like, hey, okay. I'm up here. I'm directly, I've directly put some of these deals through, and I've seen that this is not going to be repeatable. So how are we going to grow on this? Like, this customer just bought this, and this, and that. They set for 5 years. There's nothing else we could do to impact that number.
Sell them a maintenance package.
Sell them software, sell them services.
They go figure out something to sell them.
Yeah. But managing up, man, you have to at least show them that you're making every effort, or you have to establish credibility. Yeah. You have to establish credibility as I don't like using terms like worker, but as a team member that's under somebody, you have to establish the credibility first. So you can't be like the employee that's always late, the employee your numbers in the tank, the employee nobody likes. Everybody at offices had those people that super negative, nobody liked them. You can't be one of those people and expect them to take you seriously in managing up.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to explain yourself. And
exactly. Exactly. But we talked about compliment sandwich and not being negative. And we had conversations about this stuff all the time.
Did.
Y'all just not hearing it.
Right.
But yeah, man. I've had situations
Whenever I
before.
see compliment sandwich, I think of Stewie from Family Guy.
Yeah, man. I think you always, because you got to think about they under a lot of pressure too. Mm-hmm. And if you just go and just just completely tear them down or tear down everything that's going on, that can leave a bad taste in their mouth. But just I find it finding the good in the situation. Say, hey, so far this has been kind of good. And then finding the critique or giving your feedback in a way that can be constructive. So
right.
if you gonna give negative feedback or give feedback, that constructive feedback, have something that you think will be a solution. And tone matters. Your posture and how you present it matters a lot too.
Also, I think how secure that manager is in themselves matters.
It
like
does.
I had a very secure manager who was to the point where I ended up yelling in the meeting one time. I was just like, y'all don't understand. And he was so secure in himself, he went to my boss, who was he was like, at least I know he's passionate. You know what I'm saying?
But you established that credibility.
But I established a relationship with him. So he's I'm not being disrespectful.
Yeah.
And we were all frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like any one of us was more frustrated than the other one. But like, I think that relationship, even more than anything, and the credibility, because he saw me coming in at nights. He saw me working night shift with my night shift, working mids when I would rather come in, work a morning, and be home with my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that all goes to speak to like what you were saying, that credibility of, putting in that work, grinding it out, just trying to figure out what's the best thing for my team and for all of us to succeed. But I do think, like you said, if you get one that's not as secure in themselves, that's where I think a lot of, because I've also had that where they micromanage, but I know how to do. I had a manager once who they micromanaged me to the point I was like, okay, you must know how to do all this. The day I was sick, they called me about 15 times. So I was like, how do you walk around with me every day, but you don't know how to do anything that I do? That wasn't a good thing to say. But if I'm sick and by you get to the time you get to the 15th call, I don't know. It was a lot of calls though. I was kind of like, I'm not gonna answer anymore.
Yeah. That's insane on your sick day. They can't manage
that thing. And then it was a whole thing when I got back, and to the point where I was like, I almost quit. Like, their manager came to me and talked to me afterwards and talked me out of it. So I kind of started reporting directly to that person afterwards. But it was so ridiculous, not because that person didn't put in the work, didn't learn what they're supposed to learn, and more importantly, they were so insecure that rather than doing their job and learning all these things, they just followed us around and then took credit for our stuff. It's like that was the beginning of that person. The day I was out, that was the beginning of their downfall.
Yeah.
Because everybody saw, like, I came in and there was no gap between me and another person. So she trained me, and then I took over from her immediately. And so they never saw the inability of this person. And so when it was on full display for a day, it was just one day. It wasn't like I got COVID or anything. This was way back before COVID was a thing, but just for a day. And it became that obvious. It was kind of hilarious to watch. I'm not going to lie. You know how somebody's been on you and been petty?
Validating.
And then you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I do this, you nitpick everything, and then all of a sudden they're getting torn apart. And not that I wanted to see anybody get torn apart, but I'm kind of like, you made this bed.
Yeah, you made the bed, man.
All that to say, I'm sorry, I went off a tangent.
But no, good. You're right, though. Good people managers are secure in their position in themselves, and they don't feel threatened by. Why would you feel threatened if you're doing everything you're supposed to do? Why would you feel threatened by somebody that you're supposedly trying to lead and help?
Yeah,
that's your job or your goal is to help people under you succeed. Because when they succeed,
that makes me happy.
You succeed,
bro. That makes me look good.
It makes you look good. Exactly.
Like, that
when
was
they
my
succeed,
thing. Go ahead.
But you establish one credibility. That's one thing that that I want to put out there for anybody, you have to establish credibility.
Yeah. Relationship is everything.
Exactly. It goes a long way. Your brand goes a long way. It means a whole lot. As somebody who came into corporate America raw and had to rebrand myself, it's a lot of stuff that I had to learn. And it's not necessarily being fake. It's just everybody's different from you. Well,
you got to turn the volume down sometimes.
Exactly. That's exactly. You can't just go in there.
Turn the volume
This is
down.
all wrong. This and this and this and this person's stupid and this person. This is stupid. No. Come on, man.
And I'm not even code switching anymore. I just I do turn the volume down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's proper. I mean, like you said, relationship and not necessarily being less of yourself, but just making the delivery a little less enthusiastic. That's my thing. Like a lot of times, especially when I'm managing, like I want to get this done. I want to get, and then realizing like not everybody.
And how would you
moves
feel
like
if somebody treated you the same way?
Exactly.
That you got to think of. You got to put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel if somebody treated you the same way? Well, I wouldn't mess up if I was a man. You don't know because you're not in their shoes.
I wouldn't do that.
The people, or I'm not going to quiet my tone for nobody, or I'm not going.
You're not going to go very far.
You're not going to go very far. First
48
of all,
laws of power. Never outshine the master.
But yeah, you think about how you would feel if you was in their shoes. So I mean, I try to empathize or try to put myself in their shoes. Now, people be acting crazy sometimes, or some people can be overly sensitive. That's true. And sometimes you have to speak up, and and I always say, if you feel like you really can't live there, then it's always another place you can go, or you can go work for yourself. That's even harder.
Yeah, it is. Y'all just want to let y'all know it's not as easy as everybody leads you to believe.
Yeah,
and it's not even like the stuff. It's not like people say it's the discipline. It's not the discipline of starting the task. It's the discipline of being at home, starting a task, and seeing it all the way through to the end with zero distractions.
Yeah,
that is it. Like I'll be on my computer and be like, oh, and I have this mindset: if I can do it in 30 seconds, just knock it out.
Yeah,
it helps me with my hyperactivity and everything. But then my brain takes that to a whole new level. Now I've done 7 things that would take me, 30 minutes, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and I've wasted 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh shoot, how'd I get here?
Yeah,
tangent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That is a tangent. We could talk about entrepreneurship.
That's gonna be different.
I'm not gonna say I'm not cut out for entrepreneurship, and that's another episode. But the way my mind works, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to talk about this. But yeah, that's crazy.
And then the last one I wanted to ask, because I had a lot. Well, not a lot, but I had several instances of this where you're talking to somebody and you're getting really passive aggressive behavior.
You talking about through emails or regular?
Emails.
Most of it comes through emails.
Emails, a lot of keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
For me, I would always immediately go just find that person. Listen, because the first time it happened to me, I was like, what?
Yeah.
All right. So I got out my chair, went directly to that, because I'm not wired to do the subtle disrespect. Like, it's just not where I come from. You don't do that. Yeah, you know what I mean? We cut from the same cloth. And so I got there, and immediately it wasn't. So I had to realize that sometimes people don't realize the tone of their words. I do. There was one dude a nice guy, actually fairly nice, but his emails would always sound not necessarily rude, but just kind of passive aggressive, kind of like he's being petty.
Yeah.
And then I just had to realize that's just how he emails. Like because I went to his office several times, be like, just to talk, just, okay, what are you actually asking for? Because you seem like you're complaining, but I don't see any actual actionable items.
Yeah.
And once I said that to him, we had a much better conversation.
Yeah.
And he had an understanding of, if you're going to email me, this is what it needs to look like. Because I'm not going to spring into act. You're not my boss.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spring into action just because you don't like something. But if you have, also, you've been here for a while. If you have something to suggest, I would also love to hear that. And so actually turning that passive aggressive behavior into something, kind of flipping it on his head and making him an ally and making him, oh, I want your opinion. You know, that was one of my biggest things, is turning people who don't believe in me or people who maybe are not necessarily actively working against me, but don't like me, turning those people into allies was my biggest defense against staying in that passive aggressive behavior field. So what about you? Like,
but see what you did? You had that conversation.
Yeah.
I think and this is what I was taught by like a lot of my mentors. This is why I said I had some great mentors. Shout out to Sterling Brown too. One of my first mentors in the car business, man, longtime sales professional, man. I used to call, we spent so much time together on that lot. He was like I was like, well, you like one of my second, third dad, man.
That's Unc right there.
Yeah. So we spent so much time together. But yeah, pick up the phone or face-to-face interaction are some of the best ways to solve a lot of this digital text, email, clarification. Because like we said, email tone can come off one way and the person can really be another way. Because I've done that before. Yeah. You've done that before, not just here, but in relationships.
Yeah.
That's why it's always good to call somebody or express how you feel about the situation, especially if you don't know the person or you haven't communicated with the person, or if it's somebody that you even know and care about and it just seems like a one-off type experience. It's better to address that over the phone because a lot of the times it's not what it means, or they're not trying to come off in a disrespectful manner. It's just
sometimes they are. Then they shrink when you get there.
Some are. Yeah, well, trust me, I picked up the phone. And this is going to be on.
What exactly did you mean by
on the segment coming out? I'll tell y'all more about this story. But I've been cussed out over email and pick up the phone, and it's oh no, Carl, everything. We're just frustrated because I'm just frustrated because I got everyone on my butt about getting this in.
Exactly what you mean, bro.
I do know that there's keyboard warriors, but a lot of these problems can be solved by just having a conversation. I went down and I worked in a building where I communicated with somebody that was on the floor below me. I pulled up on him at his desk and was like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get some information pertaining to this project or this deal."
It's that first 10 seconds.
And you're not, providing it. And then, he's like, "Man, I'm sorry, I'm super busy." It's not like he wasn't blowing me off on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And so, that picking up the phone can clear up a lot of things. Like I learned my lesson because I've had issues that I needed to resolve with the customer. And we went back and forth through email for weeks for something that could have been resolved in a day. So it's so important to pick up the phone. And I don't get me wrong, I get comfortable just communicating by email, and I made that mistake, even at this big age before. So I mean, picking up that phone, that face-to-face interaction, that's why I don't think nothing will ever replace that face-to-face interaction, that handshake.
No.
I mean, yeah, man, that's very important.
And then just to, I guess, in this part of it, something that has helped me that I was reminded of this week is assume good intent. Until you know for sure.
Until you know otherwise.
Like a lot of times I think we assume ill will.
Yeah, and and then sometimes you just gotta grow thick skin.
Yeah, sometimes
like you can't take everything personal.
Not everything needs to be addressed. That's another conversation for another show.
And you can't take everything personal in business. Anytime you dealing with, everybody has some sort of customer, even if it's your job or like if you in part of operations or if you're in customer service. I think this is one thing I got good at over time, not taking everything personal because they mad just like you. You call people mad and angry. Just try your best to solve the problem. If you can't, then there's nothing you can do.
I don't know if I've ever had a customer or like somebody I'm working with call me and cuss me out though.
Nah, not over. Well, I did. That's another story. I did have somebody. I did have somebody. Yeah, I did have somebody cuss me out one time when I was at a brief stint in property management over the phone, and then my boss got on the phone.
I definitely want to hear that story.
He gave him the address to our office. He's like, "I'm with the address. This is our address to our office. You can come see me right now."
Pull up. He told him to pull up.
He told him to pull up. Shout out to Gary too. Gary Human,
did he pull up? We went that brave. He
didn't pull up, but I had to pull up on him to turn his pool key card back on. And as soon as he saw me get out the car,
yeah,
he was a little dude too, man. Little dude. As soon as he saw me get out the car, and I wasn't even there. I was all skinny. I wasn't that skinny, but as soon as he saw me get out the car and pull up, he was like, "Oh, it's a big black guy."
Yeah.
I was like,
be careful who you talking to.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, how you doing, sir? You called me about getting your key card cut back on. Are you okay? Is everything okay? I'm gonna get it done for you today." But yeah. He changed his tone real quick.
He being low key petty right there. I love it.
Face to face interaction.
Face to face interaction
solves a lot of problems.
Kills all that.
Yeah.
All right, well, that has been it for the day. Unless you got anything else, man. I think we hit this one pretty well, especially without Chef here to add in his crazy stories and his belligerence that I have endured for years upon end. But
well, I'm gonna leave one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple things. You don't take anything. Make sure you establish credibility.
Yes.
Wherever workplace you in, that comes with being consistent. That comes with being honest too, and make sure that you keep that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be a keyboard warrior.
Definitely not.
But I will say this: as a manager, there are far too few people who can accept constructive criticism.
Yeah.
There are those of you out here who I could say whatever I want to, and we'd be cool. Hey, look, I walked up to one person one time. I was like, "Hey, man, you effing up. Get it together. You know why?" And he was just like, "I got you." Like we had that relationship though, you know. Many times I had to move much more tactfully. Yeah. So I would also say though, it's not always the manager's job to make your bad news sound tasteful. Yeah. Sometimes bad news is just bad news. Sometimes a reprimand is just a reprimand. And if you did it, just accept it and move on, be better. But I think learning to take constructive criticism is a skill, and it's a skill I don't think a lot of people actually possess. So that's one thing I would say. Somebody who just took some today. I took some constructive criticism today, and I was like, "Ooh, he's right though." You know, so learn that. Yeah. Make sure if you've made it this far, please make sure you like, subscribe. All right.
Yep.
This is Chris with the Biz, aka Daddy Anthem.
This is K-Mac 317.
Hey, you can always find me on Facebook at Chris with the Biz, and we will let you know on any other socials. He already gave you his socials. I think that's it. You good?
That's it, man.
All right, y'all.
See y'all next time.
Peace.